Okay, go for it.
Every single person here has heard their parents say, if your friend jumped off a cliff, would you jump too? Now let me restate this in modern context. If Miley Cyrus twerks, would you twerk too? Well, some people do. And I mean, they've lost their dignity because of it. These twerkaholics obviously haven't taken 9th grade English or paid enough attention. And they haven't learned the importance of one's own judgment. Throughout this course, I have learned why making your own decision is often the best course of action and makes you and your community a better place and happier. By choosing for yourself, you ultimately do what's right, and oftentimes it's better than the alternative. Today I'll use a couple of examples to show how I've learned this throughout survey. Firstly, To Kill a Mockingbird was deeply involved with the concept of personal choice. In the time period of this book, racism was a huge aspect of daily life and could be seen throughout Macomb County. When Tom Robinson was persecuted by Bob Ewell falsely, most people of the community believed Ewell on the basis of his skin color only. Atticus was the odd one out. He decided to make his own decision about what he thought was right, and not go along with the stereotypes of racism that were in the community. His small action instigated a huge reaction within Macomb society, and by choosing for himself, he did the right thing and did what was right. Now, To Kill a Mockingbird was not the only book to have this lesson. In The Martian Chronicles, Spender went against his fellow astronauts and did what he thought was right. He saw the other men acting foolishly on the Martian surface and thought that they would destroy Mars. Although his tactics were a bit extreme and rash, he decided to take action. The thing is, in the end, Mars was eventually destroyed by the humans, as he predicted. If he had followed through with what he thought in a different method, or done it in a different way, he would have turned out fine, and everything would have been okay, and Mars wouldn't have been destroyed in the end. It just shows you that when he went with his own intentions, and not with the intentions of the group, everything would have been better. Finally, our Socratic seminars demonstrate the power of individual thinking. These intellectual discussions created an environment within our class that allowed each person to express their opinions freely. Using input from each person, we could combine opinions and come to conclusions to find satisfying answers to questions. This was only possible by leveraging the free thinking of each individual person. If we had just done what one person said and not thought on our own, no interesting conclusion would be made, and we would just have some random answer that wouldn't make sense, and we wouldn't find the true meaning. The individuality of these Socratic seminars is what made it interesting, and it's what created an environment where we could find answers and respond to different questions in ways that created a supportive and intellectual discussion. It's about the individual contribution that created these seminars and made it such an educational experience. English has taught me this important lesson that will affect me throughout the rest of my life. I've already started to think more about what I want to do, as seen through these books and examples in English. Now I'm doing more of what I want to do and less of what my dad wants me to do. And it's made me happier, and I've done more things in my life that I enjoy and I think will help me later. Ultimately, an individual's judgment is way more important than the judgment of anything else, and you should always trust it. If you go with what you believe is mostly right, most of the time it will be right. I will use these words of wisdom through the rest of my life and all of my future endeavors. So just remember, next time you watch a Miley Cyrus video, use your own judgment and keep your butt where it belongs.